What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. Happy Friday, by the way. We got some news here from Plarium that just got announced, and it's going to be actually some balance changes to two legendaries, and I think both of them absolutely need it. So let's go over that right now in this video. Okay, so the first legendary we're going to talk about here is actually one that we've actually given a little bit more attention to recently, and it's going to be from the Plarium Play Points. It's going to be Searsha the Charred. You get her from the Plarium Play program or Plarium Points program, and yeah, she's basically like a spender champion. You can't really get her efficiently. For myself, even after all this time since she was released, I'm only about halfway there without spending any money in the game. She's super underwhelming in terms of overall usage, and I'm looking in the wrong place because she is I think she is a Sylvan Watcher, even though she looks kind of like a demon. But there she is. She's burnt. Apparently she's sister to Elva Autumnborn, I believe. But yeah, she's the burnt forest there. Yeah, not very good champion currently. Brings a 4-turn AoE HP burn, which is just horrible. But Plarium has announced that they are doing some balance changes. So let's take a quick look at her balance changes here and their comments for Searsha here. So Searsha, they're saying, with this rebalance, we aim to refine Searsha's kit and make her a top-tier champion against Hydra. Okay, fair enough. I mean, I'm not opposed to this champion being a very good champion, especially when people have to, you know, they basically get her as a reward for spending a lot of money. I think the cost of her is about $5,000 if you wanted to get her right away. I forgot. I think people were kind of divided on that, 5 or 8,000, somewhere around there. But anyways, let's see what Plarium has to say about her kit. So they're saying her A1 now has a 100% chance to decrease the duration of a random buff on targets under HP burn. So currently, it says it's a triple hit. Each hit has a 30% chance of increasing the duration of HP burn. Each hit also has a 50% chance of decreasing the duration of a random buff. So, I mean, overall, it's just a really small buff, right? They're saying that they're just going to make it so that her decreased duration of random buff goes up to 100% when they're under HP burn. I mean, that is like one of the smallest buffs I've ever seen. But I guess it's something. 100% chance for anything is really good. Let's move on. Her A2 will no longer trigger an attack, ensuring reliable HP debuffs while bypassing Poison Cloud. Cooldown was decreased too, meaning even more HP burn debuffs. So as we were just saying, currently, her A2 is a 4-turn cooldown attack. So it can weak hit and it can't bypass Poison Cloud. So they reduced it to 3 turns and they made it a non-hit. I mean, is that really enough, guys? Is that really enough? I mean, it makes it less crap, but I mean, is that really enough? Like, I just moved over to Mordecai in the Sacred Order, and his HP burn is a 4-turn cooldown with the HP burn and increased attack. I mean, Searsha's is a 3-turn cooldown with the same move without increased attack. So this, like, you could, you know, argue that you lose 1-turn cooldown because you gain increased attack, but Mordecai's an epic. I mean, is Searsha really, you know, is it? It's nothing, right? I mean, it got better because this move was so bad currently. 4-turn cooldown attack, it's so bad currently. But I mean, it's not really enough. And then lastly, her A3. Her A3 was replacing the turn meter reduction with decreased speed and hex debuff to boost overall team damage. Okay, so currently her A3 attacks decreased turn meter by 15%, decreased turn meter of enemies under HP burn, 4-turn cooldown. Just a horrible move. Horrible move. And the update will bring it to a 75% chance of placing decreased speed for 2 turns. If the target is under HP burn, will place Hex. Attacks all enemies. Cooldown reduced to 5. So you get 2-turn cooldown, so it's 3 turns. So actually her A3 is significantly improved. So you get decreased speed, and you get and you get Hex if they're under HP burn. As an AoE on a 3-turn. I mean, it is improved. It is improved significantly, especially over the current one, which is just total trash. So she is usable there at least. But I mean, Hex is one of the you know, the debuffs that most people just put a curse set on. 50% chance for Hex is actually pretty decent on a champion that does a lot of AoEs. They do have a quick comment here about her passive. Her passive will be enhanced to offer greater healing, supporting allies with minor heals, plus an increased chance to instantly activate HP burns on enemies. So it's been changed from its current form. Some text has been added saying, okay, so they're adding a heal to all allies by 10% of the damage received. So when Searsha takes damage, she heals herself and then she heals her allies as well. I mean, she doesn't have like super impressive stats or anything, right? Like 19k, like she's not super tanky, but it is a little bit of a heal. It's a little bit of a heal. Are these upgrades enough? They're not. They make her less bad? Yes, definitely make her less bad. So she goes from basically being totally useless to being probably mediocre. Definitely not something that a big spender would probably really need, but if you got really unlucky and you were a big spender, then she's at least useful now. She's, she's useful. 3-turn cooldown, HP burn, and then obviously the decreased speed can be kind of useful there. Passive, A1, basically negligible upgrades. These are very like safe. These are very safe buffs. They don't have to be scared about anything breaking with Searsha. I mean, her kit could be an epic. Her kit could be an epic champion. Anyways, let's move on to our next champion that got rebalanced. And that's going to be from the Orc faction, King Garog. King Garog, I feel, was buffed previously to deal more damage. So he's being buffed again, which is wild. And this time they're buffing his damage again. So his A1 now has a higher chance to stun, increasing up to 75% if the enemy's turn meter is over 50%. So currently it's a 35% chance to stun. Chance increases to 50% if the turn meter is equal to or below 50%. So now they're making his stun 75%, and then they're switching the below 50% to over 50%. I guess that's better, I guess, because you want to stun a champion that's closer to full turn meter. I don't know. 75% chance is, it's better for sure. So it's a pretty safe A1 buff. What did they do to the A2? A2 hits will now ignore 20% of the enemy's defense. So this is a quad hit. Each crit has a 50% chance of decreasing the cooldown of Gore Maker. 3-turn cooldown. Actually, this buff could be potentially good if they're adding 20% ignore defense. That's just a straight boost. Not bad. Not a bad one. His A2 actually has pretty good multipliers too. Quad hit, I believe it's a 1. Let me look. It's a 1.4 by attack. He has decent attack, so no real penalty there. So 1.4 times 5, so 5.6 multiplier on a single hit. Very good. Now it has ignore defense. So that is a significant upgrade for King Garog. We'll be interested to see how this performs actually. So looking forward to that. That looks pretty good. All right, his A3 will ignore defense now scales with King Garog's own buffs to make his damage output more reliable, and the cooldown of his skill was decreased as well. So his A3 currently 6-turn cooldown, 5 turns when fully booked, is going to get a boost based on the amount of buffs he gets. So it's going to change to, will ignore a further 5% defense for each buff on this champion. So that's a pretty nice bonus. I mean, it's going to fit pretty well with something like Necrit, for example. And it's a solid 3.7 multiplier here. And ignore defense, gonna make it pretty good. And it's gonna get further ignore defense for each buff on him. So if you can land like 4 buffs on him, that's extra 20%. And his cooldown was reduced by 1 turn. So it's no longer a 5-turn cooldown. It's going to be a 4-turn cooldown when fully booked. So actually, this one feels more cohesive. I mean, he's getting straight damage, right? He's getting straight damage on his A2, A3. Yeah, they look pretty good. Good upgrades. Okay, and the last bit of info here is that his passive was improved slightly. Basically, he does build up stacks of speed and crit damage, and previously, I guess when he died, he loses these stacks. So now his passive has been upgraded to basically not lose these damage and stat bonuses when he dies and when he is revived. It's a pretty small, it's a pretty small boost, but it could be useful. It definitely makes a difference if he is revived, of course. So just makes him, you know, a little bit more user friendly, right? He's not penalized so badly with like low stats or anything like that. He has decent base speed actually. I don't know, King Garog would be interesting. I'm actually interested to test him out for his damage output, so looking forward to that. But anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below what you guys think about these upgrades. Do you guys have these champions, Searsha and King Garog? Personally, I think King Garog definitely benefit a lot from these boosts, from these upgrades. But I think this is the second time that he's gotten buffed. And basically, the first time they just made him, you know, a better damage dealer, and this time they made him an even better damage dealer again. So hopefully, you know, buffs him into relevancy, but looks pretty good on paper so far. So anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Again, happy Friday, and hopefully you guys have a good weekend lined up. Thank you guys for watching to the end. Appreciate it as always, and I'll see you guys in the next video.